Hey guys, so this is the NF Audio NM2 Plus in-ear monitors. Now NF Audio is a professional audio brand and I had already reviewed their NE4 Evolution previously. Now those are exquisite but very expensive. The NM2 Plus comes in around $170 and I have to say that after using this is something that I can definitely recommend to someone who is a gamer or just a plain music enthusiast. The NM2 Plus is something that can cater to all these and more. So let me explain why I think this is an absolute win for $170 right after the unboxing. Okay, so the NM2 Plus comes in a typical packaging, nothing too fancy. Sliding off the outer cover, we get this box that opens very gracefully like a book, and everything inside is so beautifully arranged. They've got this CD motif going on, as with all NF Audio products, and I'm a really big fan of that. So inside the box, you get some paperwork. You get a total of 6 pairs of silicone ear tips, out of which 3 are atmospheric ear tips and 3 are balanced ear tips of various sizes. You get the 3.5 to 6.3mm adapter, a storage box to carry these in-ear monitors in. You get the oxygen-free copper cable that has 2-pin connectors on one end and a 3.5mm jack on the other. And of course you get the NM2 Plus in-ear monitors themselves. Now in terms of specs, the NM2 Plus houses a single dual cavity dynamic driver in each of the in-ear monitors and it's got an impedance of 18 ohms. So although these would be categorized as low impedance in your monitors, as always I would highly suggest that you pair them with a portable DAC, nothing too fancy or expensive, just something that can make sure that these can perform to their full potential and leave nothing in the tank, and what you get is just the best audio quality possible. And as always, the one that I personally use will be linked in the description below. Now in terms of the build quality, this is where I've been super impressed because the NM2 Plus has got zero compromise. It's made of all metal, it's aluminum all the way, no resin, no plastic anywhere. It feels so formidable. It's got the heft of that metal without being so heavy as to tire out your ears even for long listening sessions. Very ergonomic, beautiful finish, no jagged edges, and just feels very premium and high quality. Okay, so now with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the main criteria, which is the audio quality. Now you guys know, if you're an existing viewer, I judge these in-ear monitors based on how they can produce the 3 major frequencies that broadly make up any sound that you hear: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs are the treble response where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids where the vocals are, and the low end or the bass response. Alright, starting off with the high frequencies of the treble response, the highs were an absolute experience of richness and detail. I was absolutely blown away by the sheer amount of technicality and subtle nuances that this in-ear monitor could produce, and not just that, it had excellent control throughout. The spacing between instruments were beautifully rendered and it's just something that you really have to listen to believe. So absolutely no sibilance or artificial sharpening, just an overall very energetic rendition of the high frequencies. Now this is where I would quickly give you one small warning, because if you are someone who is very sensitive to the treble response, you might find this overly energetic rendition of the high frequencies to be a bit unpleasant. I didn't find it so. I found it to be very rich in detail. I enjoyed it thoroughly. If you're someone who is really sensitive to that, you might want to tweak the equalizer to bring that down a bit. But in general, they are exquisite. Next up, we have the mid frequencies where the vocals are. Now the mid frequencies are the one place where I felt that the vocals could have used a shade more warmth. Now while the vocals are rendered with utmost clarity and detail, a shade of warmth would have just added a layer of depth that would have made it sound more rich and immersive. However, the strokes of guitars are rendered with such brilliant detail and had such flair that it was a pleasure to listen to. There was excellent spacing between the instruments themselves and with the vocals as well, so there was no overlap at all. So overall, I'd give the vocals a 4.5 out of 5, just deducting a little amount of marks there because of that lack of warmth and depth that can be mitigated by tweaking the equalizer. But because they don't intrinsically have that, that is my one gripe with the mid frequencies. And finally we get to the low end or the bass response. Now the bass response hits you with a fistful of a very powerful mid bass slam, and every now and then it'll throw in a bit of the rumble of the sub lows on certain tracks. The low end is well rounded, distortion free, doesn't sound muddy, and it's deep as well, and it doesn't interfere with the highs or the mids. Now I'd even go this this far to say that these would satisfy even a bass head on certain tracks where the sheer thickness of the bass really made it so much more enjoyable and immersive. So in my humble opinion, the bass response gets a 5 on 5. Now the soundstage. It is very wide, unmistakably so, and it is impeccable how beautifully the stereo imaging is done, the spacing between instruments, and this same aspect is what would make the NM2 Plus ideal for gamers as well. Alright guys, just to summarize, the NM2 Plus from NF Audio is gonna sound like a dream to most of my music lovers out there. The energy in the highs, the sheer clarity and detail there. Then you have the vocals that have immense amount of detail, although lacking a bit of warmth that can be mitigated by tweaking the equalizer. And then you have the mid-bass slam and a bit of the rumble of the lows. That thickness all together gives you a very immersive and enjoyable experience that is just unmistakable. Couple that with the absolutely uncompromised build quality, the NM2 Plus is something that I can recommend to music lovers, professionals, and gamers alike. So it's an absolute win for $170. So definitely check it out. So there you have it guys. That was my in-depth and unbiased review of the NF Audio NM2 Plus in-ear monitors. If you have any other questions, do hit me up in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them. And the link to this and other products will be given in the description below. I would really appreciate if you use those links to make your purchase. As always, they will never cost you anything extra, but you guys will be helping me run this channel and I can produce more such high quality and helpful content just for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, and I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.